There are machines that move you, and there are machines that move history. What happens when an SUV refuses to surrender its soul in an era racing toward silence? Tonight, we uncover the answer hidden beneath the badge that still beats in V8 rhythm. When Porsche introduced the Cayenne, purists called it betrayal. An SUV from a racetrack icon felt unthinkable, but adaptation, not nostalgia, builds survival. The Cayenne didn't just endure criticism, it strengthened Porsche's future and funded its evolution. Across generations, it transformed into a benchmark performance SUV, refining power, technology, and identity. Now, as electrification rises and regulations tighten, the GTS stands at a decisive moment, defining performance before the electric tide fully takes over. How long will engines like this still remain? And then, it arrives. The Porsche Cayenne GTS. Lower, darker, tighter, purposeful. The body sits with quiet aggression, sculpted to look less like an SUV and more like a coiled athlete waiting for release. Under the hood lies a twin-turbocharged V8, not a compromise. Not a hybrid disguise, but a declaration. The exhaust note cracks the silence. Deep, mechanical, unapologetic. In an age of artificial soundtracks, this is real combustion breathing. And for a moment, the world feels analog again. The GTS has always been about tension between luxury and aggression, refinement and rawness. The front fascia sharpens the Cayenne's face. Larger air intakes, darkened elements, subtle but intentional hostility. The LED matrix headlights don't just illuminate, they stare. Compared to previous generations, the stance is wider, the lines more precise. Aerodynamics are cleaner, yet more assertive. The wheel design feels engineered, not decorative. Every spoke suggests motion, even at a standstill. This isn't an SUV trying to look sporty. It's a performance machine that happens to carry 5 passengers. Beneath the sculpted hood sits a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8. Power arrives with precision, not chaos. The transmission reacts instantly. The adaptive air suspension recalibrates in milliseconds, and torque vectoring sharpens every corner. Where older performance SUVs felt heavy, this one feels composed and deliberately balanced. The steering speaks. The brakes reassure. The drivetrain responds as if it already knows your intent. This isn't about numbers, it's about connection. And behind that connection, invisible code quietly perfects the experience. Step inside, and aggression turns into precision. The cabin wraps around the driver Alcantara, brushed aluminum, and stitching that feels purposeful, not decorative. Digital displays flow across the dashboard, sharp and intuitive, while the infotainment responds instantly without distraction. At night, ambient lighting creates a cockpit atmosphere. On the highway, calm dominates, but press the throttle, and the V8 reminds you it's still alive. Executive composure, athlete reflexes. In America's performance SUV market, competition is relentless. Models from BMW M, Mercedes AM, and Audi Sport push hybridization, electrification, and digital dominance. Yet the Cayenne GTS positions itself differently, not as the most extreme, not as the most experimental, but as the most emotionally intact. Pricing places it within the premium performance bracket, accessible enough to compete, exclusive enough to command respect. For buyers who still value mechanical character, this may represent one of the last chapters of a familiar story. Because as regulations tighten and electrification accelerates, the era of large displacement performance grows shorter, and that reality adds weight to every ignition. The future of performance is electric, and Porsche is already shaping it with the Taycan and advanced hybrid systems. Yet the Cayenne GTS stands as a bridge linking combustion heritage with digital precision. It may not be the last V8, but it feels like a reminder of when performance was measured in sound and pulse. As electrification expands, machines like this grow rare. The Cayenne GTS doesn't resist the future, it carries its identity forward into it. What does performance mean to you in this new era? Is it silence, or is it still sound? Share your perspective below, and if you appreciate cinematic journeys into automotive evolution, consider subscribing to Carsnouva, where every machine has a story.